I'd like to declare the Town of Atikokan Committee of the Whole meeting for January the 6th open. Our second order of business is if anybody has a conflict of interest on any item that is on the agenda, please declare now or anytime during the meeting. We have no delegations, so we'll move on to Committee of the Whole reports. We'll start with Administration and Employee Relations and the Integrity Commissioner Agreements, and I'll turn that over to Sue.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. We had a meeting last week in regard to Integrity Commissioners. My recommendation is to move forward with Reese Little, Robin Dunn, and Rosalie Evans. Council was in agreement, so we will have bylaws coming at the council meeting. If anyone has any questions, just let me know.
Hearing none, we'll go to closed meeting investigator agreement, and I guess I'll turn that over to Sue also.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. We also had a meeting regarding our closed meeting investigators. I've recommended Reese Little, Robin Dunn, and Rosalie Evans. Council was in agreement, and bylaws will be presented at the council meeting. If anyone has any questions, please let me know.
Yes, Mayor Ferguson.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. Just a question. So we have these integrity commissioner agreements and closed meeting investigator agreement. Is there a fee if we don't use them? Is there like a monthly fee or an annual fee, or just when their services are required?
Good question.
As stated in my report, there will be no retainer fee. The town will only incur costs when investigative services are required.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Hearing no more questions, we'll move on to CAO update. I'll turn that over to Jason.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. Included in your package is the update, including some 2025 highlights, department updates for December and January of 25 and 26. Happy to take any questions or direct any to the appropriate department head.
Does anybody have any questions on the CAO update for Jason? Councillor Stimson?
I'm just
I'm not sure what you're referring to. In regards to a certain project? Yeah, if
I'm just wondering if that would, in that area, if that could drive the ice right down to the bottom and stop the flow of the river.
Yeah, so if your question is retaining to the Waskin Hydro Transmission Project, yes, it's a fully permitted part of that project. The town is aware of it and closely monitoring it, but they're quite well aware of that's the water intake for the community.
Okay, all right, thank you. Just wondering about that.
Are there any other questions for Jason? Yes, Mayor Ferguson.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. Under the Waasigan project, it says the project is advanced within town limits. Staff have been putting in substantially more time in ensuring a proper outcome for the municipality, but also assisting in a variety of other issues. Can you elaborate on that, Jason?
I will kick that over to Tyler because it's under Public Works.
Yeah, so we've been working with the variety of contractors who are undertaking that project, and we're just working with them to basically smooth out any of the problems that they're running into. in particular, you know, access to the hydro lines and stuff, like they're going through the old landfill, right, the transfer station. So we've been working with them on trying to smooth out like those access routes and things like that, so.
So is that taking up your time or your crew's time, or
My time.
we're just doing this?
That's, yeah, a lot of my time. We do have access agreements in place with them, so I guess now it's just kind of, it's come to fruition where we've passed those previous agreements, and now it's just, we're actually putting that effort into making it work, and then obviously we're trying to help out with laydown areas and things like that where we have room, so.
Okay, thank you.
Are there, Brian, Counselor Stimson?
Thank you, Chair Johnson. I'm just wondering on the ski hill, do we still bring the groomer in every summer to make sure it's all raring to go for the fall, winter?
So the groomer is annually serviced, depending on what its needs are. Some work can be done out there, and then if it needed more work, then it can be brought into town.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember
It was looked at
one
this.
year, it was in bad shape or something, and I know they got it brought in.
Yeah, it's looked at annually. There was no issues this year with it, but it was looked
Do
at.
they bring it in all the time, or they just do it out, like you said, you do
I
something?
believe this year it was not floated, and I believe it was out
Okay.
there. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yes, Mayor Ferguson?
Thank you, Chair Johnson. And one last thing. Under outdoor rinks, it says securing annual sponsorship for 2026 from 2 companies in town. Is that sponsorship, I don't know if you could tell me right now, but is that going to be for the maintenance of the outdoor rinks, or is that going to be for programming at the outdoor rinks?
So if council remembers, I believe several years ago, there was a kind of a naming rights with the 3 outdoor rinks. The money obtained in that program was used towards maintenance, not programming. And our contract administrator is trying to kind of renew or gauge interest for a continuation of that funding model.
Thank you, because I was informed a few years that the Lone Pine Rink was going to be painted, the rink shack, because it looks terrible. And I wouldn't want to put my name on that building, to be honest with you. So I'm hoping that any sponsorship goes towards the use of the building and making the building look presentable.
Fair enough, thank you.
Yes, Counselor Stimson?
Okay, on the rinks, thank you, Chair Johnson. On the rinks, I guess Don Park's not going to happen this year again? Is it?
I believe there's ongoing conversations with different volunteers to see which rinks can be up.
Okay, because I think the other rinks are going already, and I don't.
Yeah, the Don Park rink hasn't been used for several years, so I'm not quite sure if there were some issues there, but they are looking into trying to revive it for sure. Yep.
Thank you. Got a lot of kids up there now.
Any further questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 4, crossing guard booth. Turn that over to Counselor Stimson.
Thank you, Chair Ferguson. I'm just wondering if we've, Mayor Ferguson, Chair Johnson, holy cow. Anyways, back to the thing. I'm just wondering if we're going to be doing anything, or if we've shelved that idea of maybe doing something for the crossing guards, or I just wanted to see if it's still viable.
Yeah. As last discussed, council had asked our administration to look into it. I think it would be safe to say that we wouldn't be able to put anything in place this year. It would be, they're still looking at, there's a variety of different ways you can do it. I mean, you can find small shelters for, $500, or you can have, full glass kiosks for $6,000 each, right? So, I mean, there's all different kind of things you can do. The other concern is location. I have talked to the crossing guards in regards to where they can be placed, so that if that were the case, they wouldn't interfere with sight lines, snow removal, that sort of thing. So the challenge is just finding a design that would, as requested, to protect them from the elements, but to also give them a line of sight for the kids that are coming up to them. So I don't necessarily have an update for you. It's something that, we'll continue to look at and try and figure out if there's a way to do that. And then if we did, it would be more of a permanent thing. So it would have to be done in the summer. It would be a challenge right now to do it with the frozen ground and that. So not much of an update other than some discussions have happened regarding that, and there's some things that we'll have to overcome. But I think design and cost are two of those things in location.
Thank you for that update, Jason. Any further questions, Councillor Stimson? Okay. Okay, we'll move into finance, and item number 1 would be budget timelines.
Yep, so everything's still on target. The budget, barring any unforeseen circumstances, will be presented to Mayor Ferguson this week with the intention of it being presented to council at the next meeting.
Any questions on Brandy on that?
So further to that, we're just looking at, Clerk Bates will be asking if people are available for some extra meetings in February, so just to have ample time for council to have discussions. So an email will go out in regards to those dates, and we'll give you guys ample opportunity to review and ask questions. And we're looking at our first meeting of February 2nd. Yes, February 2nd. But an email will go out.
Okay. Councillor Knowles.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. Will these meetings be available to be accessed remotely? That's
Yes.
travel week for me. So.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. It's a conference season.
Yep.
Thanks.
Any further questions, remarks, comments? Temporary borrowing. That will again be to Brandy.
Yep, so this is just our annual bylaw in order to allow us to use the overdraft if we need it.
Did you say if we need it, Brandy?
Yes, we normally by the end of the year, you would always be in the overdraft, but we haven't used it for several years. But we still just automatically do it because there was a couple of years where we forgot to do it. So now we have it on a schedule to do it every January.
Thank you for that. No other questions? Interim tax levy, again to Brandy.
So again, this is an annual, this just allows us to send out our tax bill, our interim tax bills.
Any questions for Brandy on that item? Seeing none, we'll move on to Public Works and concerning recycling. I'll turn that over to Councillor Knowles.
Thank you. I'll keep it brief. This is just part of an email chain, but I just wanted to get it onto public record so we can follow up with any information and make the rest of council aware. So the long and short of it is, now that most communities have been obligated to join circular materials, which is contracted through GFL in most communities, we seem to be one of the only communities that are using blue bags and not a bin pickup system. The bin pickup systems allow you to basically have a giant bin. It's provided in most communities either free of charge or at cost through a large retailer. Allows you to put everything in the bin. It comes out to the road. You face the bar one way. They've retrofitted their dump trucks with a pressure bar to pick it up. And it dumps it in there, so you don't have to sort. You don't have to do anything that adds unwanted burden to recycling. Just the reason I ask is our community has an issue with recycling. We don't have big uptake on it. I think we struggle compared to a lot of communities. and the incentives are very minimal to recycle, other than the good conscience of doing so. And then you add the burden of purchasing bags on top of that, as well as sorting it and making sure that it's brought out to the road. And this is and that's, there's a lot of reasons why people don't do it. I'm just curious if there's any opportunity for us to explore a bin system with, like, the other communities. It doesn't seem to be a big onus on anyone else to do it, and if it helps encourage us to do more recycling as a community, then we have an opportunity to prolong the life of our garbage dump and our facilities, and to lessen the load on our waste collection, as well as just basically help the environment a little bit. So anything that we can do, I'd like to just see a little bit of movement and see if there's any opportunity to work with Circular Materials on amending that, or finding a solution that's more friendly and in line with the rest of the communities in Northern Ontario. Thank you.
Yes, Councillor Lyons.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. Yes, in follow-up to that, shortly after the changes occurred to our recycling program and across the province, I did reach out to CAO Young because some constituents had spoken to me about particularly glass and placing it in the plastic bags. I did reach out to GFL and Circular Materials themselves to see if they would be providing bins, particularly for those items, but I haven't received a response.
Councillor Stimson.
Yes, thank you, Chair Johnson. Yeah, I know in Thunder Bay, I think the people didn't have to pay for the bins, so I don't think nominal fees or anything should be brought to Atikokan if they do decide to supply bins. And in the meantime, I just been putting glass and tin cans and plastic bottles in the same bag. I don't think there's any sorting to it, and that's how it's been going out. I don't know what that meant, but I know if a glass bottle breaks, but they're going to get all busted up anyways, and you just gotta make sure that the guy grabs it by the top, and now he'll know there's glass in there now.
I got in contact with, I don't know eventually where I got to over what bags to put the new recyclables in. And one of the things they told me, the glass can go in with the plastics so that there's protection for the glass instead of not breaking. And the only item that they were very strict about was the paper being in its own bag. Everything else can be mixed up in a bag, but the glass should be put in the plastic so that it has a cushion.
Plastic and tin are together anyways.
Eh?
Plastic and tin goes in the same bag.
Anyways, I would caution I have 2 children that live in Thunder Bay, and you're correct, they don't pay for the bin, but they caution, or they've told me, that if the people are elderly, those bins are very heavy, especially in the wintertime, so they help their neighbors out. But I'm wondering if it could be an option to have bags or the bin, because I don't think the older people will be able to. That's just something to think about when we go there. Councillor Knowles.
Thank you. I'm happy for any discussion that moves things forward. I find it odd that we have to sort any sort of recycling when every other community is putting it in a singular bin and it's going in what looks like a modified garbage truck. So I'm not sure what the difference is. Just more of a question, rhetorical. Thank you.
Same thing. I would wonder the same thing. Tyler has a question.
Just maybe some clarification. So right now we are not allowed to commingle, right? It all kind of comes down to where your recyclables go. So you have some other communities in this area whose recycling goes to Winnipeg, and then that allows you to commingle. So you can just put everything in the same bag. Our stuff goes to Thunder Bay and then it gets processed there. So we're not actually allowed to commingle. We have to keep the two separate streams, right? We have to keep one stream for cardboard, paper, those kinds of materials, and then we have the second bag for plastics, tins, containers, all of those types of things. So that's just purely comes down to kind of where your recyclables go. We're one of the few that actually send our stuff over to Thunder Bay. Most of the region actually goes to Winnipeg. It's just something that we're unfortunately stuck with now that particularly the province has taken over. We don't have a lot of say in it anymore. They do whatever they want essentially. And then even when you get into the bins like Thunder Bay has, right? It's still not commingled, right? There's two sides to the bin, right? You have a plastic side and a tin and all that kind of side, and then you have another, it's actually like a segregated bin where you have still, it's like having two bags, it's in one bin. Those are the ones that I've seen, that's what Thunder Bay is using. I would certainly appreciate if people could reach out to GFL and say, hey, we want those bins. From my understanding, it should be by the end of March that we might be looking at getting the bins as well. But again, we're an arm's length away from that. We're no longer in control of what that does, right? The province has mandated it, and that's the same with the problems with the IC&I sector.
Thank you very much for clarifying that, Tyler. Truly appreciate it, and I'm sure there's a lot of folks out there that appreciate the same. Under Public Works, I'm just going to add this in here. It's not on the agenda, but I would just like to remind the people in Atikokan, if you've got trouble in the past with your water freezing, if you could please keep your water on a slow flow. Excuse me, because the temperature's really going down, and the township is starting to get a lot of calls for frozen water. So to protect yourself, leave your water running a little bit. Sorry about that. Fire and property is next, and fire protection grant. Who's going to address that? Brandy will.
So this is the 25-26 grant for fire protection. We received one last year, and this is a continuation for a new one. It's just kind of late in the getting, we just received the agreement. It's for the pit test machine.
Any questions about that? Okay, moving on. Other business. Support Moonbeam resolution. Councillor Stimson.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. That's to do with the spraying of that glyphosate, I guess it's called. The ministry used it to kill all broadleaf plants, and I guess when they spray out in the bush. And I've Googled it, and I've seen that it gets in the water and kills frogs. It kills all the broadleaf plants that the pollinators use for food. It's similar. Well, it's got Roundup, which was just about taken off the market at one time. It's not good for the environment. It's not good for the environment. I was talking to a guy, and he told me I could use his name if anybody wanted it. He hunted last year. He hunted in an area, and it was sprayed. And this year, well, last year he said there was tracks all over the place. This year, not a track. So the moose are moving out because there's no food. It's not a good chemical, and I know we don't want to get the ministry mad at us, but I don't want to actually see the pollinators and the frogs go, because environmentalists said when that happens, we're not long after. They're a good indication of a crappy environment, and I just don't want to see this disappear like forgotten about. It's something I'm going to push for, and although it's just been local ones down around southern Ontario, starting to move up this way now. But it doesn't matter where it is. The spray does the same thing. We're the same as the people in Toronto. Our plants, our plants and our wildlife is all the same. So, well, actually, we're more diverse, so we really have to start watching it. And I really like to see us to agree to a resolution to support Moonbeam. And since then, I've got another couple of ones that have done it newly. So I don't know. I'm not going to let it die. Either the town council can say we're not doing it, and then that'll be it. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to push it until a decision's made. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Councillor Stimson?
Thank
Councillor
you.
Martin?
Thank you, Chair Johnson. Councillor Stimson, is this something new that they're spraying, or
Nope.
something that's been going on for as far as I can remember?
I think it's been going on for a bit. It's just that people are finally realizing what it is. I'm not sure when Moonbeam's resolution came out, but it's easy enough to look at. I know Councillor Shine was waiting to get information from the ministry, but to me, asking the ministry about whether it's good for the environment or not is like going to Loblaws and asking them, is your groceries prices fair? They're going to give you the answer you want, and I don't think the ministry is any different. They're gonna tell you that it's okay. We've done tests and everything's fine, but really it's not. If you Google it, I don't know. I Googled it, and I'm not a computer tech savvy guy, and I found out that I didn't like it.
Councillor Knowles?
Thank you, Chair Johnson. And I asked this question last time, and I don't know if it's because I was remote, if I was able to be parsed or not, but how much actual spraying goes on in the municipality of Atikokan? Because that is where our jurisdiction begins and ends. If the spraying is not happening inside our boundaries, we don't have any course of action to make a resolution on top of what the enforcement of such a resolution would look like. So those are just some things I'd want to know before I support something that is, I don't want to do something that's token. Let's just say that. It has to be more than words. It needs to be actions that are rooted in something that has some actual effects. So I want to have more information about how much actual spraying is going on in an area we can affect before moving forward with it. Just my comments. Thank you.
Jason?
Yeah, so I'm not sure, you guys might not have checked your email yet, but Councillor Shine did just recently forward some information that she received from the ministry in regards to spraying specifically in our area. To Councillor Knowles' point, there was a good article in the paper not that long ago that did talk about testing, and I know there was conversations at a council level regarding CN spraying and the water testing. Interesting enough, at the Roma conference that the mayor and I just recently attended last week, there's what they call a bear pit session that gives elected officials the opportunity to ask questions to the ministers. And interesting enough, I believe it was a representative from Moonbeam did actually ask the question to Associate Minister Holland, our MPP, and him as well as Minister Harris did respond to the question. Basically explaining that the program is highly regulated and operating as intended. There wasn't, as Councillor Stimson said, the ministry is quite confident in their program. Locally, I would just caution you that, you know, the passing a resolution opposing a regulated provincial program, certainly after it's been publicly defended by our own MPP at the conference, could possibly change how the town is perceived by its partners and its ministries without a lot more research, I think, in defending it. Further than that, staff recommends receiving the correspondence for information and taking no further action. Thank you.
What's that? What was the last part?
Council recommends receiving staff recommend receiving the correspondence for information and take no further action.
Brian, could you, I thank you for your concern. Could you get hold of Moonbeam or somebody in Moonbeam and see what other towns, municipalities have gotten outside their area sprayed or not? Or how did they go about it?
Well, the thing is, they're not gonna spray within the town limits, so if that's what
No, I understand that.
Councilor Knowles was saying, if it's not in our area, we can't really do anything about it. No, definitely, it's not in our area. But it's within an area where, people go hunting in the fall, go picking blueberries in the summer. But that's fine. I don't care. All I'm saying, I'm interested in the environment, and I don't care who it is who's doing it. If I don't think it's right, I'll say something about it. I don't know. I'm just kind of, I'm just kind of flabbergasted that you can look and see that it's killing pollinators and everything else, and we're not worried about it. You know, I'm glad I'm not going to be around much longer to see what's going to happen from it. Thank you. That's good.
Councilor Johnson?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, Chair Johnson. Yeah, we can't jump on everybody's private thing that they want to. I've never got any information, legitimate information that says this is what's happening when this product is sprayed. I can't make a decision by Brian's friend that goes moose hunting that didn't see tracks, and then I'm going to put my hand up and say I'm against it.
Do you know how to Google? Google that, and just.
Yeah, I read the information, and you're accusing the MNRF of lying. Basically, you're accusing the MNRF of lying. Well, you said.
I'm going to say they're going to tell you what you want to hear.
Excuse me, Brian, may I speak? You've spoken lots tonight, and may I have my time to speak?
You usually.
Yeah, so we got the information from the MNRF. Okay, it's a government body. They're doing their testing. Okay, it's done, it's in the parameters. There's a whole list of information that Councilor Shine forwarded on how it works and what happens. And I'm not gonna go on the web and try to find somebody that says something against it. Okay, sorry. So I'm just stating my opinion that I would not vote to support this resolution, because I'm not going to go searching on the internet to try to find somebody that refutes what the MNRF says. Okay, so the MNRF, Councilor Shine asked them, they got a long written report saying what it is, what it does, how it works, and I would take the MNRF at their word on that. So along with what CAO Young said, my recommendation is we take this as information and then we move on with it unless someone else wants to bring it to a vote for a resolution.
Does any council member want to bring that to a resolution?
Waste of time if I did. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Tyler.
Well, thank you. Just to put everybody at ease somewhat, this is of course back into, as CAO Young was saying, specifically in relation to CN Rail and the spraying that they do, but we do bolster our testing at the water treatment plant specifically for glyphosates during the heavy spraying months, whatever, the season, I guess, for lack of a better term. So we've never had any hits in terms of that getting into the water supply or anything. So just to put everybody at ease on that side.
Hearing nothing else, we'll move on to Community Improvement Plan, and I'll turn that over to Mayor Ferguson.
Okay, thank you, Chair Johnson. I sent it was quite a document I got from the town of Hornpain, I think it was in November or December, about a community improvement plan, and there was a lot of information there, so I shared it with council, and I never got any uptake from anybody on it. So I found one from Sioux Lookout. It's much less ambitious than what the one from Hornpain is. But the thing what they talked about is, we always talk about beautification and making our community look better. And they had a community improvement plan, a small portion of it, where they help businesses with fixing up the facade of their building, making things look better. And it's not a lot of money, and it's something that we could do. I just wanted to throw the information out there. I don't expect anybody to agree to this or say yes or no. I just wanted to throw it out there so people can look at this information. If they're interested in maybe pursuing this, I will work with administration and trying to find a way to make this palatable for everybody. If council isn't interested in spending taxpayers' money to help businesses make their businesses look better, I'll drop it and I'll let it go. But I just wanted to bring this information. We always talk about beautification. We always talk about doing things. I think the business owners could use some help. It's not a lot of money, but if anybody wants to say that is in favor of this, or any people are against it, I'm willing to go whichever way you want. So there's a lot of information. I sent an email this afternoon. I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments on that. Yes, Councillor Knowles. Oh, sorry.
Mind your place.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Thank you for putting me in my place.
I believe Councillor Lyons.
Thank you, Chair Johnson, and thank you, Mayor Ferguson, for bringing this forward. Just a point of clarification for everyone. I just was hoping you might be able to, is this a community improvement plan as it states on the agenda, or is it a community investment grant as it states in the email you sent? Because in my mind, the two are a little bit different.
Yeah, they are. I put out a community investment plan idea, and again, I got no uptake from it at all. So I took it that council wasn't interested in pursuing it. So this is a much smaller, watered down version of a community investment plan. It's a community improvement plan. So that is, it is just the downtown core business. It's not tax relief. It's not anything like that.
So according to the information, it's just the financial grant component that we'd be looking at, not the actual plan itself that could involve other aspects.
Yeah, so after I sent this out, I had a meeting with CAO Young, and he was very quick to point out that I did get a little ahead of myself on this. We would have to implement a community improvement plan, so it would be in place before we could offer a program such as this. So I understand that this can't happen overnight. This is an idea. If council's not open to spending a small portion of taxpayers' money to help small business or medium, I guess they are all small business, like I said, I'll drop it. But if council thinks it's an idea that has some merit, then I will work with administration to try to move this forward. As I was told, things like this do take time. So I was just gauging council's engagement in this.
Councillor Lyons?
If I may just follow up to that, I do think that the community investment plan is exploring further, And, you know, the grant component of it is certainly something that members of the community may be interested in. And I'd be happy to support council and administration in any way possible that on this endeavor.
Thank you.
Councillor Knowles?
Thank you, Chair Johnson. I've had a chance to look at both documents that Mayor Ferguson sent out. I have no issue with an investment plan as well. Happy to help shepherd that through as I've had an opportunity to see it in action in Sioux Lookout and work with some of the proponents there in my role outside of here. As far as the investment fund, I'm in support of that as well. I would suggest, though, you reach out to the Atikokan Economic Development Corporation to look at some leveraging. I know they have a program that's very similar to this, and I know that because I started it many years ago. The uptake has been a challenge, but there is an opportunity they have laid out. They do have programs that exist for things like this, and maybe there's an opportunity to leverage those two together where they can get some additional funds to do more. So I'm happy to help with whatever. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Councillor Knowles. That's,
Appreciate that, Councillor.
did you just cut me off again?
No, no.
Okay.
I thought you were done.
Councillor Stimson?
Thank you. At the risk of saying I've spoken enough tonight, I will ask, we were talking about taxpayers' money. Do we have any kind of line like that in the budget we can take money out of? Because it's a good idea. It's a good idea to spruce up the town, but,
It would have to be added to the budget. We don't have it existing.
okay. Which,
It would be economic development.
okay, all right, thank you.
Councillor Martin?
Thank you, Chair Johnson. I think it's a great idea. You're talking about the downtown core pretty much. Okay, I'd like to add a couple of proponents to that if I could. We should give Canadian flags to some of these businesses. It's kind of disappointing on Canada Day to see absolutely no Canadian flags on Main Street. On any of the buildings, let's buy some flags, give them to the business owners, and they can fly them proudly. And maybe there should be a local component of the materials being purchased locally. We got a couple of good stores here that can supply most materials for any kind of renovation. So just my 2 bits. I like the idea. It's a great idea. Thank you.
Councillor Knowles?
Thank you, Chair Johnson. I would just suggest, I know the Economic Development Office is having a board meeting this week. If one or both of the town-appointed councillors wish to speak about it, then I think that's probably a good avenue to see what the appetite might be there, and if there's an opportunity to move it forward in collaboration. Thank you.
When did you say that meeting was?
They have their their monthly board meeting at the on Thursday.
So further to Councillor Knowles' points, and I would certainly, I think the discussion should also include, as you had mentioned, the program that the ADC had already started. There's no sense of trying to recreate a program that is already in place, and wondering if there's collaboration between, like you said, a town council component and whether there be funds involved. But if the application process and the parameters are already set up, that if there's a way to kind of piggyback onto that, I think it makes sense. Thank you.
Are you trying for a record, Councillor Stimson?
I'm just wondering if we do this, could we make it go retroactive back to when a couple of places in town have done a heck of a lot of work to spruce up the Main Street already? We've had the Waltz building has been spruced up. It looks pretty sharp, and it'd be nice if this program that we started could help them out a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Just thought.
I think, I'm sorry.
No, just a thought. I said.
I think it's a great idea, 100% behind it, and I'm sure that the beautification committee would be right behind that too, if there was monies in that movement, to give to the, or to the beautification committee to let them fix non-business items up. I think it'd be great, and the volunteers are there to do the work. But with your program, it would be up to the businesses to do the actual work?
Yeah, so, as it said, and these are just my ideas, and kind of to Councillor Noel's point, I plagiarized it from the town of Sioux Lookout, so I kind of went by what their ideas were. I thought I liked it. So, as it said, my note, and I don't want to get too far in the weeds because this is very preliminary, but the businesses would have to apply, they would have to show a plan, they would get funding. Once it's complete, they would have to provide invoices, there would be a time frame, there'd be a lot of parameters, they would have to be current on their taxes, on their water bill, on their hydro bill. There's a lot of guide rails on this. So it's just not take a bunch of money out and divvy it up. There's actually some skin in the game from the businesses. So my idea is if someone was gonna put a $3,000 renovation on the front of their building, if the town matched it, they could do a $6,000 renovation on the front of their building and get something more to it than that. That's all. If you read my email, my ideas are there. So I just wanted to get the ball rolling, because Atikokan is going to be growing, and there's going to be a lot of good things coming to Atikokan. And everybody in this room probably can agree that we need to give the town help give the town some love and make it look better. And this is just my way of trying to incentivize businesses that the town is willing to step up. If they want to do the work and they want to fix things up, we're willing to work with them. Not give them a handout, give them a hand up, I think the term is.
Would the program be just for Main Street, or could it be for the businesses on Mackenzie?
Yeah, there would be a designated area. But again, I just wanted to gauge, if council said, no, we're not interested in doing this, then we would just drop it. It sounds like council may be interested in pursuing it a little bit. I'll work with Councillor Knowles. He's chair of the Economic Development, and we'll bring it to the Economic Development this week, and we'll try to get it going. But if these programs, if you don't start, you'll never finish. So this is my way of trying to start it.
Jason?
So as council is aware, we are under a mandate to present the 2026 budget a lot earlier than normal, and we are also capped at a 2% tax rate increase. So I guess my question to council is this a program that through 2026 will be developed and get ready for implementation with actual money flowing in the 2027 budget, or is there a dollar value that we need to earmark in this year's budget?
Sorry, Chair Johnson. Yes, like I said, this is the first discussion we've had on this. So I know that the budget is going to be presented next week. So is it reasonable to say that we're going to have this included? I know we could do an addendum to the budget if we wanted to add, and if we wanted to add a small amount of money for this, then it would have to come out of reserves, and council would have to agree to that. I don't think it's going to affect the budget as is going to be presented this week. I think it's a issue that if we wanted to move forward, we could move forward with an addendum to the budget.
Appreciate that, thank you.
So before this can move forward at all, your part has to be taken care of, like making that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You can't jump right to applications and disbursement of money, because that would be considered bonusing. So you do have to have a community investment plan through certain legislation to be able to implement a program like that. Yeah, it's the first step.
And what time frame would that take, Jason?
I have absolutely no idea, and that's why, as I said to Councillor Knoll's point, if the ADC has already done the work on that, I think the quickest way would be to piggyback or partner with the economic development. If you're looking to town staff to implement a brand-new program with the current resources, that's going to take some time.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Yep. Brandy?
Just a thought, I don't think you'd necessarily have to have the community improvement plan if you had a plan outlined specifically all of the details and requirements and was clear parameters on who's eligible, what's not. Extremely clear because of the bonusing aspect, and you can't treat people differently, so it would have to be out. So you could have a grant program, but it would have to be explicitly clear.
Any other questions, comments? Councillor Lyons?
Thank you, Chair Johnson. CAO Young, would it be helpful to have a temporary ad hoc committee of council to support that plan, to get it, at least the eligibility requirements rolling?
I mean, as of right now, I don't even have clear direction from council whether this is a project that we are going to stop other projects to focus on. I'm not sure at this point. Like I said, it was just kind of brought forward. So, you know, we can certainly look at it, but then we will have to have a discussion regarding current priorities for this year and where that fits in those priorities. Sure.
Yes, Mayor.
Yeah, if it pleases council, we can bring it up at the Atikokan Economic Development Corporation meeting Thursday and then report back into CAO Young's point. Things do take time, but I think that would be a good first step to start. I just wanted to get the ball moving on this, that's all, so.
Would all councillor be kind of in favor of that? Looks like you got a positive on that. Okay, thank you. Councillor Knowles?
Thank you, Chair Johnson. Just got one last point on it. As far as a community improvement plan goes, I'm happy to assist on any ad hoc with that as well. And I don't think at this point, based on the number of other communities that have done it, that a little bit of R&D from them with their permission would be the worst thing in order for us to implement a community improvement plan quickly and something that reflects. There might even be some opportunities if we're discussing it at the Economic Development Office. Maybe there's an opportunity for some outside funding to help do a plan that aligns with our strategic plan, so that we have a clear goal for what we want a program to look like and what we want community improvement to look like, whether it's thematic or following some sort of guidelines, how that's going to look, just to give us some guidelines for how other communities are doing it. So happy to help with that as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Councillor Knowles. Any other comments, concerns? Seeing none, we're done. Do I have to hit this? We're going to have a 5-minute break. Thank you, everybody. Oh. I didn't know we had to hit at the end.